Well, if you ever want to ask somebody for a corporate favor, can you get me a job at your company? Can you introduce me to the CEO?
Sure.
Can you make an introduction can you give my resume to so-and-so?
Oh, yeah.
Right? These are
we get asked a lot.
Right? Well, how do you make sure that when you're asking a favor of somebody that you are actually going to get a yes? There's a book written by Molly Beck called Reach Out, the simple strategy you need to expand your network and increase your influence. And she actually talks about asking for favors. She breaks it down into bite-sized steps so that you actually can get the yes from the favor that you want. So she says, what makes a good favor? How do you know what is a good favor to ask, right? And she says, the key to a great favor to ask is a particular definable question whose answer cannot be found on Google and can be answered easily in a paragraph or so via email.
Such things don't exist.
All right. Well, let's break it down.
All right.
If you're going to ask a favor from somebody, she says it should be specific.
Yeah. You need to ask a question that should be tailored to the person and not open-ended. Right.
Yeah, right.
For instance, if I say, can I pick your brain? It's way too vague.
Yep.
And it's asking way too much of someone. And by the way, it implies I'd like to do that for free.
Yeah, no, you cannot pick my brain.
That's
right?
a non-starter for most people. You're better off saying something like this. What advice do you have for someone who wants to break into the finance arena like yourself?
That's very specific.
Yeah.
What is the question? I know a lot of times we get, people want to get on our calendar and, I just want to have a meeting. Well, okay, well, what's it about? And the more specific you are in the beginning, will open the door. Also let us know for sure, like this is something I can do or can't do, and how much time should I allot to it. So instead of saying, can I pick your brain? What advice do you have for someone who wants to break into finance like yourself?
All right. Then the next one is debatable. It is that it should be non-Googleable.
Which means don't ask somebody a question you can look up the answer for yourself.
Duh.
That.
Well,
right?
Wow.
Right?
That was extreme discipline on your part.
That really was. I get a lot of questions. People come to us. I'm like, look it up. I mean, that's what I'm going to have to do is look it up. But, let me stop what I'm doing and look that up for you. The example she says is, what open jobs does your company have? Which is something that you could easily look up online on their job board, right?
Mm-hmm.
If it's a piece of information, a phone number, a website, an answer to a question.
What time does that event start? Look it up.
Right?
Or something less
right?
rude.
You had to send the message. I mean, it's probably just as easy to say, ask Google or ask Siri, what time does it start? So make sure that if you're asking somebody a question that it's not something you could have looked up yourself.
If you're looking for a yes in asking people for career favors, make them brief. It should be short.
Yeah, she says, many of, the requests, if you're going to send something out to somebody, they should be able to answer it without having to spend an hour crafting a response, doing some research and replying back and figuring it all out. I'll get somebody who sends me, an email with like not 30, but maybe 5 different pieces of information on it.
And then you have to number the responses.
Yes. She says, if the person seems excited to chat with you, she says you can ask to meet in person. But if somebody does say yes, keep in mind that you're working around their schedule, not yours. And you should be traveling to a place that's easy for them to get you to. If you asked for the meeting, you make it easy for them to meet.
And if you meet at a coffee shop, buy them the coffee. If you meet at a steakhouse, buy them the steak. It's a common courtesy when you call for a meeting and you are looking for information and or favors. It is a common courtesy to be the one who expresses gratitude for the expense involved by offering.
If you're not paying for their counseling services, their consultative services, you should at least be paying for their coffee,
something,
or their
meal.
lunch, right?
Yeah.
Or bring them a gift, even if it's because they're doing you a favor in meeting with you. You've asked for a favor. Now let's pay it forward a little bit. In fact, she says that every favor should come with a gift. That gift meaning you bought me coffee. Right. That meant maybe you sent a fruit basket, a bottle of wine, right? Something Bring them a book, a little kind of like the hostess gift world. Remember when you used to bring hostess gifts to people if they invited you to dinner, invited you to their home?
I would do that all the time.
How am I supposed to respond to that? Like, do I call you out on that? Do I just let that go?
I was really bad with hostess gifts. Angel taught me what a hostess gift was.
Okay. So yeah, when you say stuff like that, people think that you really do, and then you don't. So how do I respond to that?
Well, I do now.
When was the last time you took a hostess gift to somebody?
I don't remember.
You don't remember, but you do now.
Yeah.
You do now, but I don't remember when.
I believe in the concept.
The concept. I believe in the concept. Mm-hmm. And so she says one of her most memorable favors she ever got was when a reader of her blog emailed her to say her friend was a big fan of her writing. Would I consider doing a birthday shout out on my blog to her? She said it actually made her day that she and her friend thought so highly of my blog, and it was such a cool way to make someone feel special on their birthday. So she said yes. She said that super unique favor ended up opening a great line of communication between all three of us. She actually got together in person with the woman whose birthday it was in New York a few years later. And so it actually ended up, kind of a win-win for everybody.
It doesn't matter what business you're in the relationship business, and those little favors do add up, and they can open doors for you. But make sure that you ask favors that are simple, succinct, and
non-Googleable.
Non-Googleable. That's a thing.
It is a thing. It is a thing. And also think about, are you putting somebody in an awkward position by them honoring this favor for you? So don't ask anybody to do something that's unethical, a little bit on the gray area,
immoral,
right? Crossing the line. Make it, if you're going to ask somebody a favor, make it a good favor that will be easy for them to say yes to.
And don't forget to pay it back one way or the other. Well, I'll tell you, the concepts here that we just talked about can actually link people together much better than just, trying to wing it on your own and do your own thing. Connect with people. We talk about collaboration all the time here on the program, and we think that it is a wise piece of advice altogether. All right. That is it for today. Thank you for tuning in to this, the home of positive business talk. On behalf of Angel, myself, Chad, our producer, and all the people that make the program happen every single day, we say thank you for tuning in. Lord willing, we'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, please have a fantastic rest of your day.